Welcome to Testosterothon. 28 movies so manly, they always know exactly how many bullets are in the gun. And now we go back to the early 70s for Dirty Harry, a movie that's one part cop film, one part faux exploitation, and all parts gritty. Clint Eastwood plays Dirty Harry, a cop who plays by his own morals, rules be damned, and isn't afraid to do the job the dirty way. He's attempting to track down a serial killer known only as Scorpio, who snipes his victims from afar and is demanding ransom from the city, claiming that he will kill a new victim every day until he gets his money. When Callahan manages to get a bead on him and almost shoots him, he gets away, but ups the stakes. Having kidnapped a young woman, he buries her alive and claims that he will let her die if he doesn't get an even bigger ransom. Harry Callahan volunteers to be the bagman, but when Scorpio gets away, he claims he'll let the girl die anyway. Callahan pursues him and wounds him by stabbing him in the leg and shooting him in the foot. Scorpio is tight-lipped about where the girl is, but Dirty Harry isn't above a little torture to get her location. Now this is where the average cops and killers movie would end. But unfortunately for Callahan, it was too late to save the girl, and his brutal methods leave the killer back out on the streets, and after paying Guy to beat the snot out of him, he fingers Callahan for beating him up, who is taken off the case. But of course that just means he pursues the killer in his own time. Dirty Harry is a dark, gritty movie that could only exist in the 70s or maybe early 80s, where we were willing to let bad cops be bad if they got results, and the heroes didn't have to be likable, they only had to be badasses. Eastwood was actually not their first choice to play Dirty Harry, which is shocking, as I can't imagine anyone else playing him. Certainly not some of the original choices like Frank Sinatra or Burt Lancaster. Of course, there's also the famous speech, you know, the one that ends with, "Do I feel lucky? Well, do ya, punk?" Which is used twice in the film with differing results. What I like about the film is that Callahan isn't just a generic dirty cop. His morals just clash with those of the law, and at one point he says the law must be crazy to put a man like Scorpio back out on the streets just because his rights were violated during the arrest. It does bring up an interesting debate. Of course it was too late to save the girl, but Callahan didn't and couldn't know that, and as a life hung in the balance, he felt standing up for the rights of the victim was more important than preserving the rights of a killer. It's a subject that could lead to hours of debate and conversation, which honestly gives the movie a boost because it's the kind of thing that you don't just merely enjoy, but you also think about. Also, Eastwood was just great in this role, but do I even really need to say it? It's his most iconic role. That's like saying a lot considering his long career. On the machismo meter, I gotta give this one a 9. Callahan is gruff, objective, and tough as nails. He never comes off as a caricature or satire of himself. For the actual score, I'm gonna say a 9 as well. It might have been a 10, but I'm gonna knock a point off for one minor flaw. Sometimes the lighting is so dark you could barely see the characters. It's not a major point, but enough to knock me down from a soft 10 to a hard 9.